today's spooky spot, we're having a look at the McFarlane Toys Sleepy Hollow figures. And today we're having a look at the evil Crone. Features snakes pop out of eyes and mouth. As almost depicted, well, it was depicted in the movie like that. This comes to us from a 3-figure lineup of Sleepy Hollow figures. Those figures include the Crone, Ichabod Crane, and the Headless Horseman. There was also a deluxe box set which Spot reviewed last year that featured the Headless Horseman with horse and tree. That's a really cool set. If you haven't checked out the review of him, go check the channel. You'll find him there. Even if you don't plan on ever having the horse and Headless Horseman on the set, that back display set, the base that it stood on, was fantastic. Would be perfect for a Michael Myers display, or I was even thinking like Sam from Trick or Treat as well. So there you go. Other figures that you can get from McFarlane Toys, as advertised down below, there's the Movie Maniacs Series 2, Austin Powers Series 2, Techno Spawn, and the Beatles Yellow Submarine. What I am going to do is take a bit of a break. I'm going to get the Crone out of package, and when we come back, we're going to get a better look at the figure. Don't go anywhere. More terrifying review to come. The accessories that come with Crone, or the Crone, for starters, we get ourselves 2 little bowls. I have no idea what's in one bowl. It looks like there's some worms, some decayed food. The other bowl, again, your guess is as good as mine. But some nice details. Obviously, the downside with figures, when you always get like bowls and things like that, you always need yourself a table or something to put these on. Sadly, she doesn't come with either. She doesn't come with a table, a little stand, anything to put them on. So ultimately, these just sit next to the figure on your shelf, just kind of on the ground. She does also come with a candle. Nice detail on the wax there. And you know what, really, even these come with the Crone, but I mean, if you want to use these for other figures, for other sets, you can do that as well. You can probably get some nice display going with this candle. It does also come with a little animal skull. She comes with a mortar and pestle for grinding up stuff, no doubt for spells and whatnot. And lastly, she does come with a necklace, which I actually didn't put on the figure, but I can in a minute. So those are the accessories that come with the Crone. Having a look at the actual figure, there's not a lot going on with her. I mean, some nice detail work on the actual figure, but yeah, there's just really not a lot going on with her. For starters, she's one of those figures that because she has a dress or skirt or something that sits on the floor, they've actually just opted to give her just a base. She essentially, from the waist down, she is just a base. There is a leg, very youthful leg going on there. But aside from that, yeah, she's just a stump. She's just basically a paperweight. There is some articulation in the upper waist area. Obviously, there's articulation in the arms. They swivel back and forth. They rotate at the hands in the arm area there. I've also got her wearing her, I don't know what you want to call it. I want to say shawl. That's not the correct term, but she's got something that you could put over top of her head, like so. I don't know if I got it on the right way. There's a couple of different ways you could have it. You could have it like that if you want. You could rotate it around like so if you wanted to. But it's all concealing the horrible truth underneath. Even in the movie, she looked a little youthful in the movie, not so bad. And then when she took this off, underneath, a very grotesque sight to see. You can see that she's got these bugged out eyes, a snake tongue going on there as well. And you can even see, I think you can see, that what is actually holding her eyeballs, yeah, see it right there. Little snake going on there. But some really gruesome looking detail on the figure. despite the fact it's an older figure too, looks pretty good. Looks pretty good indeed. Around the actual costume, underneath you can see some texture work on the top piece of the figure, but all around the figure is this kind of opaque, kind of dirty, clear secondary pieces of the rags and whatnot that make up the dress. There's also a snake tail here you can see in her hair. Pretty good. In the way of her articulation, she rotates back and forth. Again, arms rotate back and forth, arms rotate, waist rotates. There's really not a lot going on with the figure. I would almost say she is the weakest of this set. It's not everyone's cup of tea. Probably likely, if you're going to pick up any figures from this set, you likely would be picking up Ichabod Crane and obviously the Headless Horseman. This one might be a bit of a pass. And for that reason, when this set came out, there were a ton of the Crones sitting on pegs. Nobody was buying them. A lot of Headless Horsemen were being sold, but the Ichabod Cranes and the Crones were basically just sitting around, not being bought. Oh well. Detail works good, but I kind of feel robbed in the fact that she's just a base, like she's just a solid piece of plastic down below. And really, she's not interesting enough to, I think, warrant picking her up. Unless you're a completionist and you want all the figures from this set, I would just say Crone is a bit of a pass. For that reason, I'm going to give Crone here, I'm going to give her a 4.5. A really terrifyingly bad 4.5. She's alright, but definitely not something that you need to collect and pick up unless you want to complete the entire set. Today's spooky Spot really ripped apart this figure. I didn't mean to. But today we're having a look at the McFarlane Toys Sleepy Hollow figures. Today we're having a look at the Crone. Thanks for watching as you always do, guys. Certainly stick around, more spooky spots are heading your way, and I'll see you guys next time. Ooh, actually, just a little end part to this video. The one thing I actually forgot to mention, even though I did mention the tail on the back of her hair for the snake, well, actually it's part of her hair really, and I mentioned the fact that the snakes come out of her mouth. The one thing I didn't mention was the actual gimmick. This little snake right here, if you pull it, it will bring in all the eyes, the tongue. But if you push it towards the head, you can actually have the eyes and tongue stick further out of the mouth, or out of the face. Now, does it make the figure that much better? Not really. Not really, but I figured I'd tack it on so that you guys can see that, yes, in fact, she does have a gimmick as well. Doesn't really save the figure, but there you go. See you later.